Good evening. Welcome to the Cleveland Photographic Society's Photojournalism Evening for October the 2nd, 2020. This is our second photojournalism night for the 2020-2021 club year. Tonight we have a total of 57 images to share with you. Along with the images, you will actually be able to hear what the photographers said about their work so that we can better understand their motivation. A couple of quick announcements before we get started. Next week, October the 9th, we have our People in Pictorial competition. The deadline for that competition has already passed. It was on September 30th, but there should be plenty of good images to see. And at that point, we'll also have outside judges commenting. On October the 9th, actually that's October the 16th, I believe, is a bee competition, and the deadline for that is October the 7th. We have a couple of upcoming field trips. I want to get you out there capturing all of the beautiful fall color. On October the 3rd, we're going to be having a photo walk in University Circle. On October the 17th, we'll visit the Ashtabula covered bridges. And on October the 25th, we'll visit the Cuyahoga Valley for fall colors. All the details for each of these field trips can be found on the club calendar section of our website, www.clevelandphoto.org. These will all be outside field trips with plenty of social distancing. There is no advanced sign-up necessary, and everyone is welcome to participate. You do not have to be a CPS member in order to participate in these field trips. So please feel free to jot down these dates and join us, and we hope you enjoy the opportunity to get out and enjoy the fall color. A reminder that our classes are occurring. They're all being held virtually this year or this fall. On Wednesdays, we're doing the fundamentals of good photography. Saturdays is the intro to Photoshop editing, and Mondays is the Lightroom Classic course. We hope in the next week or so, we will have the information posted on the website for our winter session classes. Again, the plan is at this point to hold those classes virtually as well. The virtual classes are held live on the dates and times posted on the calendar, but recordings are always available for the students to review. So if you're not able to actually join us on, say, Wednesday evenings at 7:30, after the class ends, the recording of each class is available for students to review. So we do hope that if you're thinking about taking a class, that you'll consider joining us for the winter session. Those will be starting up in early January. And again, look for more information in both the weekly snapshot and also on the webpage. So this evening, again, is photojournalism. We have, as we said, about 57 images for you to see. Each photographer has submitted some written comments, and those will be read by our own Kaiser and Mike Kopkas. So let's get started. Oh, we have one more page here. You can watch this in every one of our Friday night meetings at your convenience on the CPS YouTube channel. You can link, there's a link that's found on the CPS website homepage, or you can just visit YouTube and search for Cleve Photographic. We recommend that you subscribe to our channel and choose to be notified so that you don't miss any videos. They all start at 7:30 on Friday evenings, and then the videos are available to view at your convenience at any point in time thereafter. Okay, our first photographer this evening is Anjali Patel, and we'll start with her first image, read by Kaiser.
Her first image is Guardian Angels, and her comments are protectors of the protesters at the BLM protest in Cleveland, Ohio. The second one is protesting the violence, and her comment is supporters of the BLM movement at the Free Clinic stamp. Her third one is capturing the movement. Young photojournalists capturing the crowd at the BLM march in the city. And her fourth one is isolation in the city, destruction in the city after the BLM protest.
Our next images are by Bill Keaton, read by Mike Kopkas.
Bill's first image is called Straight Up. Bill says, the images I am submitting this week are a collection of sports shots I have taken the past few years. This picture is of Lake Erie Crushers' Eric Grabe, shot in June 2016. He popped the ball straight up, and it was caught by the Traverse City catcher during a game at what was then All-Pro Freight Stadium. The second image is called Crossed Sticks. Westlake's Austin Loosely crosses sticks with Avon Lake's defenseman Alex Kelly during hockey action at the Hamilton Ice Arena in Rocky River. This photo was taken during a 2017 matchup. His next photo is called Back At Ya. Claudia Olias, part of the Oberlin High School tennis team, returns a serve during the 2017 sectionals. She was part of the doubles team, which were playing at Tri-City Park in Rocky River. And Bill's last image is called Arms Around You. Predators linebacker Marcus Steele brings down Lorain County Nightmares quarterback Cody Schuster as he tries to run around the end in the middle of the third quarter in a Northeast Ohio Predators Lorain County Nightmares game. The game took place in 2016 at Midview High School.
Following images by Bob Kovaleski.
Bob's picture is called Tribal Travel. Deep in the back country of southern Utah is a story outlining the adventures of a Russian tribe some 2,500 to 4,000 years ago, traveling through the Aleutian Island landmass to visit the North American continent. They found it delightful, peaceful, and warm, and as the story states, never returning to Russia.
Following images are by Serena Cernick.
Okay, Serena's first image is entitled Flyby for Heroes. Ohio National Guard flyby over Akron hospitals to honor our local medical frontline heroes during the COVID-19 pandemic. The next image is called Goodyear Blimp Flyby. This is the Goodyear Blimp flyby over Akron Children's Hospital to honor our local medical frontline heroes during the COVID-19 pandemic. And Serena's last image is called Hunting Time for Baby. Time to look for food. The little one is watching Dad.
Following images are by Darla Zajac.
Darla's first image is Patience of an Angel. With her rosy cheeks, sad eyes, and the cold wind blowing through her long brown hair, I could not help but notice this young girl's patience at the skating rink. Perhaps she was waiting for her mom to bring back a big cup of hot chocolate, or maybe she was waiting patiently to join a few friends. Whatever the reason, she seemed to have the patience of an angel. Darla's second image is the Amish girl and her bike. This Amish girl on her bike captured my attention as she cycled down a path on a cold February afternoon. The warmth of the sunlight that bathed the scene was perfect to help capture the serenity of an afternoon in Amish country.
Following images are by Dave Saberik.
Dave's first image is entitled Stickwork. After creating more than 300 stickwork installations around the world, sculptor Patrick Dougherty brought his art form to the Holden Arboretum. His second image is called Construction. The sculpture was created from malleable willow sapling sticks. It took about 3 weeks to complete, and Dougherty used local volunteers who provided creative input as well as manual labor. Okay, Dave's third image is called Tilt-A-Whirl. When the sculpture was complete, Dougherty named it Tilt-A-Whirl. It makes people stand up and look at it, and it creates a sense of intrigue and wonder. The next image is entitled Come Inside. The scale is deceptive when you see the sculpture from a distance. However, Tilt-A-Whirl encourages people to come close and wander around inside. People of all ages enjoy the maze-like flow from one room to the next. Little children play hide and seek and tag. And Dave's last image is entitled Don't Miss It. Tilt-A-Whirl will not be a permanent fixture at Holden Arboretum. You can enjoy it through all 4 seasons this year, but Dougherty told me that it will be dismantled in a year. Go to Holden and enjoy it like the people in this picture.
Following images are by David Fox.
David's first image is Standoff. The killing of unarmed black men stirred Americans of all backgrounds to action. This came to Brecksville in June with a peaceful demonstration across from the police headquarters. In this image, a line of mostly young people and a line of officers from many local departments face each other. There were chants and shouts from one side and stoic observation from the other. David's second image is called Confrontation. The killing of unarmed black men stirred Americans of all backgrounds to action. This came to Brecksville in June with a peaceful demonstration across from police headquarters. In this image, a bare-chested counter-protester is unsuccessful in provoking more than verbal response. His next picture is A Moment of Understanding. The killing of unarmed black men stirred Americans of all backgrounds to action. This came to Brecksville in June with a peaceful demonstration across from police headquarters. This woman gave a passionate testimony of her experiences with racism. Afterwards, she and an officer talked, shared, and then embraced. It took courage for her to speak up, and courage for the officer to step out and acknowledge her pain. His next image is called Baseball During a Pandemic, View from Center Field. Seemingly everything changed this year. The people in this photo are conspicuous by their absence, as Progressive Field did not sell out this year. But some things remained as the Indians fought their way into the playoffs. His next one is called Contacts and Proofs. The Cleveland Museum of Art presented Proof.
Following images are by Fran Moreno.
Okay, Fran's first image is entitled You May Kiss the Bride. This was at the end of the night, and everyone gathered to celebrate one last time. The next image is called God's Magnificent Artwork, a Lake Erie at sunset at the end of July 2020. The next image is Christmas in Strongsville 2019. This was a new Christmas display in Strongsville in 2019. At this time in 2020, we may only have the lights to know it's Christmas time. Fran's next image is entitled The Big Dipper. The Big Dipper was placed directly over my house. I had been chasing the comet and went to many places, even out to Geauga County, and failed. I happened to catch my favorite constellation right under my nose. You can't see the comet, but it is under the cup of the Dipper. So it might be fuzzy, never win an award, but I've loved looking at it for 57 years. It made me smile. And Fran's last image, bending over backwards for that first kiss. In September of 2018, Brandon and Chelsea were married at a vineyard in Alliance, Ohio. It was a glorious day. The weather was perfect and the food delicious. We took hundreds of photos to capture the right pose. She bent over backwards to get her favorite shot.
The next images are by Gary Marriage.
His first one was called Congo Square, Louis Armstrong Park, New Orleans. A plaque reads, during the late 17th century and well into the 18th century, slaves gathered at Congo Square on Sundays and sang. This is Rodin's The Thinker series of photographs, front view. Rodin's The Thinker, front view, at approximately 1 a.m. on March 24, 1970. A bomb irreparably damaged the Cleveland Museum's version of Rodin's The Thinker. The bomb itself had been placed on a pedestal that supported the enlargement and had the power of about 3 sticks of dynamite. The decision was made to preserve what was left of Rodin's original artwork, and because the damaged sculpture would bear vivid witness to a period of political unrest in the United States during the Vietnam War. Rodin's The Thinker series of photographs, right side view. Rodin's The Thinker, right side view, right there. This one of Gary's is called Rodin's The Thinker series of photographs, left side view. I've always, Rodin's The Thinker, and it's the left side view, so we see all around this damaged sculpture.
Following images are by Irma Baker.
Irma's images were called All the Comforts of Home. Irma says, I've always been fascinated by doorways, stairs, and paths. What's behind a door? What's at the top or bottom of a stairway? Where does a path lead? The home in this image is on an alley in a small town in rural Indiana. All I know about it is that the woman who lives there has made it her home. She has utilities, a solid door for security, the companionship of a cat as solitary as she is, and the luxury of a nice barbecue grill. What more could anyone want?
Following images are by Jim Rowe.
Jim's first image is hope. In light of current COVID situations and resurgence of positive affirmations, A look back into history shows the human condition changes. But then again, does it really? His second one is Dunamis. This sculpture from London, revealed in 2013 by Bushra Fakhore, symbolizes the human struggle to achieve excellence. Holding the elephant in a high position gives homage to the traits that we share and gradually forget, such as family ties, solidarity, compassion, and cooperation. His next one is Justice. At Kilmainham Gaol Prison in Dublin, the fighters for Irish independence paid the highest price. This memorial demonstrated the harsh reality of blind justice and brutality that we take upon one another to maintain oppression of one group over another. His next one is Moon over Mormons. The Grand Tetons serve as a backdrop to a population long gone, a reminder that the moon and the earth have survived millennia, and who knows what will become of man. Jim's final image is Eye of the Forest. Aspen trees in groves in the forest of Colorado demonstrate eyes that some say brought comfort to the First Nations people, since the forest would watch over their dead who were left in the groves after their passing.
Next images are by John Dierba.
John's first image is entitled Presidential Debate Prep. The Sampson Pavilion in Cleveland's University Circle being prepared for the initial presidential debate, September 25th, 2020. The photo is captured using the HDR mode found in the Hasselblad camera found on the Mavic 2 probe drone. John's second image is entitled Seriously Blue. Lake June offers stunning views of Crater Lake, as well as beautiful wildflowers. His next image is entitled Cleveland Police Department Bike Patrol Deploys. Prior to the 2020 presidential debate held in Cleveland, Ohio, the Cleveland Police Department Bike Patrol deploys at East 101st Street and Chester Avenue. Behind the police department, federal troops from the 437th MP Battalion are stationed with their Humvees. There are also hundreds of LE officers of varying stripes staged at Fire Station 10 depicted.
Following images are by Mariah Kaiser, read by Mariah Kaiser.
Yes, here are my images. My first one is Alzheimer's Walk. And I've said taking pictures for community service is one of my most satisfying activities. This picture was at the Cleveland Zoo a couple of years ago. Most of the 4,000 plus carried one of 5 daisy flags, each representing the walkers' relationships to someone with Alzheimer's. The next one I took right across the street from where I live. I happened to be looking out. It's called Two-Wheeler, First Time. My 5-year-old neighbor was across the street, all set up with his father holding on and his mother standing by with a camera. so was I. It was totally successful. The bike rider, that is. The next one I called Rainstorm. Down through the trees from the little cottage I stayed at in Maine was a beautiful lake. My daughter and I went swimming. She for a mile or so, I just around the dock there. I could see this storm coming toward us. I ran up to the cottage for my camera, and this is the shot I got as she climbed out of the water and the storm hit. This is called Waiting for Class. In the small lounge area at the Cuyahoga Community College, where I take printmaking classes, students take breaks waiting for classes. Here's one who managed to fold himself into this altogether too small easy chair for a quick nap.
Following images are by Mike Kopkas, read by Mike Kopkas.
Okay, my first image is called Talking with the Chickens. A few years ago, I helped chaperone a school outing at a local farm for my granddaughter's class. I'm sure it was the first time many of these kids had seen farm animals up close. I caught this photo of my granddaughter meeting and greeting the chickens and roosters. My next image is called Kayak Lessons. On a cruise to Alaska, one of the shore excursions was to kayak on the water near Sitka. Here, one of the excursion leaders is giving some instructions to the tourists who chose that particular excursion. The hope was to keep them from ending up in the frigid water. Needless to say, I stayed on shore with my camera. The next image is called Foggy Morning Barge. I went on a recent Mississippi riverboat cruise and learned how much barge traffic was on the river. I was amazed at how long the barges were and how deftly they were maneuvered by the towboats. This image is of a barge on a foggy morning in Baton Rouge. The next image is called Watching the Bridal Dance. At the wedding of a friend's daughter, I caught this image of the bridal dance with the guests looking on with happiness and, in some cases, maybe a little envy. The reception was held in a barn-like structure, which was a unique experience for me. The last image is called Taking Care of His Sister. After a week at Disney World, we were waiting for the bus back to the airport. My granddaughter was exhausted and fell asleep. My grandson did his best to comfort and take care of his little sister.
Next images are by Mike Lonsdale.
Mike's first picture is called Stranded in Ohio. While traveling in Idaho, I came across this scene at a rest stop area. The owner of this vehicle had only a trailer at his home. Fortunately, his trailer was saved, but not his truck. Last I saw this individual, he was sitting looking bewildered on the step of his trailer. I did not have the heart to take that photo, but that would have captured the true story. This one is called Proud of You. Photographing the emotional moments after a basketball game captures the true spirit of the Special Olympics. This family member's obvious pride for the participant is evident in this photo. Mike calls this one, Why Me? While at the Bruno, Idaho rodeo, I witnessed this calf roping. Because this is a timed event, in a matter of minutes, the calf must be roped. Many participants are not successful. This photo captures the tension of the moment.
Following images are by Ronald Wilson.
Ron's image is entitled Mud Splash. A local park has an annual festival called Mud Mania. It consists of an obstacle course filled with mud.
Our last photographer this evening is Susan Mahorczyk.
Susan's first image is Hold Your Course. Last Flying Scot race of summer 2020, Biscayne Bay, Miami, Florida. Bandit, the FS with 3 men, was vying for first place overall and pushing hard. In spite of this appallingly bad start, dead last and nearly hit the race committee boat anchor, Bandit held its course and went on to finish second in this race, ahead of Dierba, 49, and I believe won the season. This final image by Susan is cyclists on the North Shore, Lake Apopka, Florida. 2 cyclists enjoying the North Shore recreational trail at Lake Apopka, Florida. This is normally reasonably crowded on a Sunday morning in September, but not this year. Great for the wildlife and birders, though.
That concludes tonight's event. We hope you enjoyed seeing the images and hearing the stories behind them. We will have 2 more photojournalism evenings in this club year, so we do encourage you to think about adding some images on your own. These are not, as you can tell, competitions. They are an opportunity for our photographers to share images that tell a story. So for more information about learning how to compete in our club or to join the Cleveland Photographic Society, we encourage you to visit our website, www.clevelandphoto.org. Thanks again to all of our photographers who entered. Again, we always ask for your feedback on our Friday evening presentations. If there is something you'd like to share with us, we encourage you to write to us at info@clevelandphoto.org. Again, we invite you to join us again next Friday evening for our people and pictorial competition. Enjoy your week until then, and we'll see you then. Thank you.